Amazon forest. The Amazon rainforest is called the lungs of the earth as it is one of the world's greatest natural resource. Thus, its vegetation resulting in continuous recycle of carbon dioxide into oxygen. About 20% of Earth's oxygen is produced here. The Amazon River is 6,500 kilometers long and has spectacular wildlife. Even home for creatures like anaconda, which is world's biggest snake, and piranha, the most ferocious fish which even eats humans. Angel Falls. Angel Falls in Venezuela is the tallest waterfall in the world. The falls are formed by a river called the Rio Churian as it gallops, leaps and plunges down over 965-meter cliff into the dark green jungle below. They are located in the remote jungles of Venezuela's Guiana highlands. It was discovered by an American pilot, Jimmy Angel, who was searching for gold in the area. The local people know about them for centuries and falls are sacred to them. It is located between Israel and Jordan. Dead Sea has blue water which lies at the bottom of the long narrow desert valley. It is the lowest body of water in the world as it lies about 390 meters below sea level. The water is 7 to 8 times saltier than the ocean. This sea is surrounded by land from all sides, resulting in no inflow or outflow of water. Thus, constant evaporation of water due to intense heat result in increased salinity. The density of water is so high that you can actually float on it without sinking. Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon in Arizona, USA is more than a great chasm carved over thousands of years through the rocks of the Colorado Plateau. It is a gift that transcends time, the beauty and size carved by the Colorado River. The sheer size of the Grand Canyon is overwhelming. It is up to 450 km long, 29 km broad and about a mile deep. Geologically, the Grand Canyon is of great significance because of the thick sequence of ancient rocks that are beautifully preserved and exposed in the walls of the canyon. These rock layers record much of early geologic history of North America continent. In fact, nearly 2 billion years of the Earth's history have been exposed as the Colorado River cuts its channels through layer after layer of rock. The oldest fossil in the canyons are those of primitive sea plants. Majestic and immense though it is, the Grand Canyon has never stopped changing as major storms wash away more debris from the walls. Plant roots grows into crevices, causing rock to split, and the Colorado River continues its relentless wearing away of the canyon walls. Great Barrier Reef. It lies on the east coast of Australia. It is the biggest single bank of coral in the world, stretching an incredible 1200 miles from Tropic of Capricorn to the Gulf of Papua. The Great Barrier Reef supports an incredible variety of animals and plants. 30 species of whales, dolphins and tortoises have been found here, and 6 species of sea turtles come to the reef to breed. 17 species of sea snake live on the Great Barrier Reef, while more than 200 species of birds live on the reef's islands. The northern islands have 300 to 350 plant species and more than 1500 species of fish swim in the brilliant blue water. The reef is most famous for 400 species of corals, both hard and soft corals, that have been growing here for hundreds of thousands of years. The bright colors and strange fantastic shapes make this an underwater wonderland. The truly amazing thing is that the Great Barrier Reef can be seen from outer space. Iguazu Falls. Iguazu Falls in the boundary between Argentina and Brazil are on the course of a river, Rio Iguazu, which flows westward across southern Brazil. The river grows in size as tributaries join it, while it makes its way to the sea, tumbling over more than 70 waterfalls. However, the most awesome leap is taken at Iguazu Falls, where the river thunders down a crescent-shaped cliff in a series of cascades, some of which plunges straight 81 meters into the gorge below. Krakatoa Island, the most violent volcanic eruption, resulted in the vanishing of 75% of the land area of Krakatoa and left more than 30,000 dead. Krakatoa Volcano was located on the island of Krakatoa, 40 km off west coast of Java. This volcanic activity took place on August 27, 1883. The eruption formed three islands, Krakatoa, Panjang and Serting, and was so violent that volcanic ash and debris reached as far as Madagascar. Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is located in Siberia near the Mongolian border and surrounded by mountains, forests and wild rivers. It is the oldest and one of the biggest lakes in the world. At 1,637 meters, Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world as well as largest freshwater lake on earth. It was formed on an ancient rift valley and is therefore long and crescent shaped. It is a natural treasure with immense and breathtaking area of physical beauty. Cradled between a forest and a mountain, the clear blue waters of the lake reflect sapphire skies or are veiled in mist. The lake is covered with ice from January till May. Mount Everest in Nepal. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. It is basically a part of the Himalayan range in Asia. The Tibetan name for Mount Everest is Komolungma or Kumolangma, which can be translated as Mother of the Universe or Goddess Mother of the Snows. Mount Everest, this English name was coined in honor of Sir George Everest, who was the former Surveyor General of India in 1865. Like Himalayas, it was thrust up millions of years ago when movements in the Earth's crust caused the Indian subcontinent to collide with Asia. These great peaks were formed by folding and refolding of rocks. There is very little oxygen at that height, which posed to be an irresistible challenge to climbers. Mount Fuji in Japan. Mount Fuji is Japan's highest mountain. It is located on the southern Honshu Island and rises to a height of 3,776 meters near the Pacific coast. It has attained its present shape about 5,000 years ago, formed as a result of series of volcanic activities. It has erupted 16 times since 781 AD, but to the Japanese, it is much more regarded than a volcano, a sacred object. The climbing of Mount Fuji is considered a religious practice. Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro rises majestically in splendid isolation above the flat plains of Tanzania in Africa. Soaring to 5,895 meters, Mount Kilimanjaro covers an arc that is 96 km long and 64 km wide. It is not a part of a mountain range and there are no peaks nearby to compete with its breathtaking beauty. Kilimanjaro is so high that it creates its own weather. Moisture-laden winds blowing in from the Indian Ocean are forced to rise up by the steep slopes, bringing rain and snow to the sides of the mountain. Above 4,420 meters, only lichens can survive in the semi-arid desert, while at the summit there is a permanent cap of glittering ice and snow that gives the mountain its name, Kilimanjaro, meaning the mountain that glitters. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls mark the border of Canada and the USA. Niagara Falls is composed of two major sections separated by Goat Island Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side of the border and American Falls on the United States side. The falls were formed when glaciers receded at the end of the Ice Age. Water from the newly formed Great Lakes carved a path through the Niagara Escarpment and became the Niagara River, which makes its way to the Atlantic Ocean. While not exceptionally high, the Niagara Falls are very wide. More than 6 million cubic feet of water fall over the crest line every minute in high flow, making it the most powerful waterfall in North America. The most dramatic view of the Niagara Falls are from the boats that ply in the roaring water below the falls. The sound and the spectacle of thousands of gallons of water roaring down, creating rainbow-spangled mist. Periquetin Volcano. Periquetin is a cinder-one volcano in the Mexican state close to a lava-covered village of the same name. Periquetin is part of the Michoacán-Guanajuato volcanic field, which covers much of west-central Mexico. The volcano began as a fissure in a cornfield owned by a farmer, Dionisio Pulido, on February 20, 1943. Pulido, his wife, and their son all witnessed the initial eruption of ash and stones as they plowed the field. In 1952, the eruption ended and Periquetin went quiet, attaining a final height of 424 meters above the cornfield from which it was born. Like most cinder cones, Periquetin is a monogenetic volcano, which means that it will never erupt again. Volcanism is a common part of Mexican landscape. Periquetin is merely the youngest of more than 1400 volcanic vents that exists in the Trans-Mexican Volcanic Belt in North America. Bay of Fundy. The Bay of Fundy is famous for its highest tide in the world and 5 times higher than the Atlantic coast. 1 billion tons of water move in and out of the Bay of Fundy twice a day, created a land and seascape between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Amazing marine life is seen here. The finback whale, the second largest animal on earth, comes to Bay of Fundy to feed and play along with right whales, minke whales and humpbacks. Victoria Falls. The Victoria Falls is one of the natural wonders of the world, and only by experiencing it will you truly grasp its profundity, the local people calling Mosi Oatunia, meaning the smoke that thunders. It's been preserved in its natural state, and fortunately, it's being declared a national park and World Heritage Site. This massive flowing curtain that sends an average of more than 500,000 cubic meters of water over the edge every single minute is located on the borders of Zimbabwe and Zambia. At 1,700 meters wide, it's twice as big as the Niagara Falls. The Victoria Falls offers Great and exciting challenges from bungee jumping and ballooning over the falls to whitewater rafting. There will never be a dull moment in this inspiring place. Pamir Mountain Range. Pamir Mountain Range is called the roof of the world as it has 100 peaks with a height exceeding 6,000 meters. The highest peak in the Pamir is Communism Peak, which is 7,468 meters. Pamir means foot of mountain peaks as several mountain range meet to form it. The Kulun from the east, the Karakoram from the southwest and the Tian Sha from the northeast all converge to form Pamir. Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge is located at the base of Navajo Mountain in Utah, USA. It is the world's largest natural bridge. It is 90 meters from bottom to the top. It spans a distance of 84 meters across the river. The top of arc is 13 meters as tall as a 3-story building and the top of the bridge is 11 meters as wide as a highway. Native Americans knows about it for centuries and believed it to be sacred. People also believed that the souls of their deceased pets go from Rainbow Bridge to a green meadow in paradise.